Yeah. Wait.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me. It's here, RDV. I know normally we show up here about 30 minutes ago, but want to take a moment for those who may not know. Maybe you've already seen it on Twitter, but our friend, well, SkipNTosh, passed away of cancer. Uh, Either yesterday or the day before. Yeah, really good friend, really good person you could go to, and basically, if you needed a favor, he was someone he would bend over his back, help you out. Really, one of the very few people I know that's always was always positive. Uh, Never really came off being a jerk or nothing like that. Always joking. Uh, just very full life, and it's such a waste. 38 years old. Uh, I I I know Wes has had him on before too. We've had him on the Kiki Puppet Show. Skip did a lot of stuff with a lot of people as far as doing Twitch. He did his own Twitch channel. He hung out with Ashton Comics and even uh, Zach, who's not here right now and on the panel, but they just got done doing a couple months ago. They did went through Hickman's Fantastic Four, but overall, it's shocking when one of us actually passes away, and we really have no idea. Um, as I was talking to Eric yesterday, he mentioned like, "Wow, it's like we know their first names if we do. Otherwise, we know our handles here and here. Not everybody uses their first name, and it's heartbreaking when someone passes away. We have no way of ever knowing or even contacting. Um, Obviously, I've known Engeltine, I've known Eric, and I've known LK for at least about 4 years now. Um, it's We have our addresses, and some of us have our phone numbers because in case, but um, I don't know what more to say than just that. You know, be happy. Skip was a very positive individual for a reason. Uh, he looked forward to everything he did. He enjoyed it. He made the best out of life. For those of you who are going through a hard time, I sympathize with you. The guy is it's gonna it's. I can't even listen to any Prince songs because I always used to tease Skip about Prince. He was a big Prince guy, and I just like, okay, I guess that's it's your thing. But now now because of him, I can't listen to Prince anymore for two reasons. You know, but very fun guy. I mean, I'm rambling right now. I don't know more to say than other than like, hug your loved ones a little, a little more. Spend time with your friends. Just forget about your problems for now and just focus on the good in your life and just keep pressing forward. You know, and read good indie books. Yeah, Skip likes indie books. He's always on that. He helped on Aficionados, right? I believe Eric, you were on there with him for a little bit. He also was on Criminal Cast with Ash, HR, and Eric. Uh, he loves indie books. Was not a Case fan, but he did read a few with us on the Kiki Puppet Show. Always good sport. Uh, I'm trying to think what else to say. I mean, Eric, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I would like to
I'll,
say,
I'll here.
yeah, I said I've known Skip for about 3 or 4 years. Also, we did have that criminal cast where Ash, Nalo, Skip, and myself would basically slurp the latest Brubaker book, and Skip was the one that went through it like a tactician and broke it down, and he basically ran the the show, and he did a phenomenal job with it. I said, but Skip and I had something else that that LK will get. We were both Skip's a huge sports fan, and when I was a kid, we had a basketball team in Cincinnati called the Royals. Well, after a stop in Kansas City, they found their way to Sacramento, where they became the gold standard for futility, and until this year, and they absolutely came out of nowhere to finish third in the West and get a playoff series. And Yeah, Skip and I would joke back and forth because it started off they would just be a couple games over 500, slip back, then they get to like 4 over, couldn't get past that, and then they just took off. And yeah, I remember. I mean, he was loving every minute of that. They have a thing out there where they light this light and they call it light the beam.
Mhm.
And yeah, I would send that to Skip after every win. He would change it to light the breen. That was kind of our thing. And he got it. And that's yeah. I asked him, I said, Skip, were you even old enough to drink the last time they were in the playoffs? And his answer was no, because it had been that long. And yeah, so and he got to see them finally win, for him. And it's only going to get better out there. Hopefully, he'll look down and see what they're about to accomplish. And I said, yeah, I know. Whenever I read a Brubaker book or whenever the Kings win a game, I'll think of Skip. Every time I see that beam, I will think of Skip, and I'm going to miss him. And rest well, my friend.
I know that. Here, I'll take you off there. So you're not the ratings. No,
You don't see tears either.
I know. We had just been doing some offline stuff in Ash's Discord, doing some offline like busy like a reading club, and it's Zach pointed out to me we had just read Jenny Warren Johnson's Murder Falcon. For those who don't know what Murder Falcon is, it's very ironic that we actually read this. I mean, I knew that Skip had cancer, but he always played it off. It wasn't that bad. They caught it early. He was still full energy, and we were reviewing Murder Falcon, which is it deals about a kid who has cancer, ironically. So, and it wasn't even Skip's choice. I mean, but it was one of Skip's favorite books. He loved Daniel Warren Johnson. So he had his writers that he loved, but he loved Do a Power Bomb. He loved Murder Falcon, which is like all you learn about is this guy just he plays guitar and he's in a band. He gets the news, that he has cancer. And like I said, it is such weird that Zach chose it because Zach had no idea what it was, but he knew that Skip liked it and he wanted to talk about it, so he just chose it. Going over it, such a very emotional book. Much more deeper meaning now that I have now seeing. That was probably the last time we talked at least on Mike, for me at least, on was that time. Uh, it's just a horrible feeling knowing that I can't talk to you anymore about myself. I can't talk about books, because he doesn't go his way to look for books. If I was missing a book, he's got, oh, don't worry, I got shops up by me. I'll find them. He'll send them to you. And he would always send books with it. I never asked him to, but he always did this. He always like, RDV, I know you like the cheesecake. Here's some cheesecake. I'll throw you with your book, And so it was just fun getting to know him. Even though we never physically, met face to face, but I always used to joke that Ash, you live so close to him. It's only an 8-hour drive. Surely you could beat him, and you could go to a better city in California.
That makes me think of something else I'd like to say.
Sure.
One of the things about what we have here, and not just us, like I said, I mean Wes's bunch, and there's all the people that are like in any way connected to this, that you forge actual friendships that are as important as the people that you have, quote unquote, IRL. That it's weird to think about at first that people you consider good friends are people that there's a chance you will never physically meet, and it's like French, forming friendships with people like Curtis that's what we're talking about. That because it brings people together from all walks of life and all over the place, but with common interests. And like I said, the friendships are real. And I said, I mean, I'll miss him like I'll miss somebody that I knew, in person. That's one of the great things about you know our side of YouTube is that you do meet you make lasting friendships. And that, unfortunately, with that comes the pain of losing one of those friends. I think that's kind of what we're all feeling right now. And but like I said, it's yeah, this is yeah. I said I treasure what we've got going on here, and yeah, I said and yeah, it's because of people like him.
You called me out. I remember we were talking one time, and I said something. I started to say, because we're friends, and I went, well, well, internet friends, and you went, Aaron, we're friends. And it was almost like when your mom uses your first name, your middle name, and it just kind of held that you didn't call me E or Englandine. Unfortunately, anytime I jumped on, or if I was in the live stream, Skip would find a reason not to be there. So I was like, okay, I don't know what I did.
I hear you, E. I just wanted to throw in, quickly, probably the most relentlessly positive person that, I've come across in a long, long time. And I wish I'd gotten to know him longer. I loved, finding somebody who was, in my own, back in my old hometown, who loved the Kings as much as my grandmother did. And being a Kings fan and still being relentless positive, I mean, is a feat of strength that Hercules could rival. But just this year, yeah, with the whole light the beam piece, my mom is a huge Kings fan as well, and as that got bigger, it was, boy, it would be really great, for Mother's Day to somehow get my mom like a light the beam shirt. And I thought, well, you know what, maybe I'll reach out to Skip and see, maybe he can help me. And of course, I mean, he did. He got back immediately, found me a shirt, sent it back. It was awesome. It was just a fantastic Mother's Day. My mom just absolutely was over the moon for it, because she got to wear it during the playoffs. And I got to text back and forth with Skip during the playoffs, and I was so happy to see the pictures he was sending from the Golden One Center, and just the excitement he had when they won those first two games. And and then still sharing the defeat. I was just looking this morning after hearing the news, and the last time that we chatted was really, it was actually just a month ago. And checked in to see how he was doing. And of course he said, yeah, I'm doing fine. Just, fighting it. I said, hey, anybody could fight it, it's you. And we joked about the fact of hey, the NBA lottery's going on, isn't it weird the Kings aren't involved? And we joked about that, looking forward to the season. And I even thought about texting him a couple days ago after the draft, because of some of the things the Kings did. And I was gonna say, hey, you think they're gonna get Draymond Green, because they freed up money. But I just never did. And yeah, it's really sad. And at the same time, it's beyond heartwarming to see all the people that he touched, just online, in terms of the outpouring of support and condolences, from all over the spectrum. And so, I know he's going to be, terribly missed. And when the Kings win that first game next season and they light the beam, I'll definitely be thinking of him.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to him through Discord, and he had been on. I asked him, "Did you start chemo yet?" Because I know so. He said he'd been on for 2 weeks. So, I asked him, "Hey, do you want to join us?" I had no idea. It's like, if you have the energy, if you want to join us on our live streams, because I figured he said I'm bedridden for most of the day. I said, "Well, you have no reason why you can't join us." I mean, just so this kid his mood's up, and he's like, man, it's like I hate being in bed. I'm like, yeah, think of all the TV you've missed while working. Now you have all the time to make up and watch it. You can watch all your sports. And he was just a kid around too. Obviously, everybody knows that. Well, you probably may have not noticed, but I do read pirated books, but I also buy the books that I'm pirating. But he also, whenever I talk to Skip, he's like, "What's up, pirate?" Or he put pirate on the books he sent me, and he's like, "Oh, it's RDV." He could go from just joking around to straight up serious. Like, I always told him, like, "Why weren't you a social worker?" And I think he said he was for a while, or he was, maybe he was thinking about it. Like I said, like there's so many people I realize. I know he played NBA 2K. He was in a league, so he had people he knew like playing on the Kings on the video games. So he had a whole group of people. I was like, man, you're taking nerd to like the next level. It's like we're comic book nerds, but he's like, I was like, yeah, but I don't like the cape stuff. The cape stuff boring.
You have to understand, though, Vangman, for years, if you played those video games with the NBA, the Kings player, if there's anybody in a Kings uniform, they were an NPC. They just didn't matter.
But he said he knew a lot of people. There's a lot of people I saw, not just as Wes was sharing it out. There was other people, and some of them were either streamers or people who were involved in the comic book industry, or just just people he met along in the way. Obviously, it shows you that one person can affect a lot of lives. We're all worth everything.
This morning, Wes's special guest was Eric July, and it was about 50-50 between talking about Skip and him. That should tell you how well thought of Skip is. Because I said that's the other guy's kind of a big deal right now, but with Skip, like I said, he's beloved. I mean, I said it's really cliche when you lose somebody that they were the best person out there, and we all know more often than not that's just absolute bullshit. Skip really was. I mean, he's like the Sarah Lee of all. I mean, nobody doesn't like him, and the outpouring is real, and it's genuine, and
it's amazing to see. Like on Twitter, how many people were just retweeting or doing stuff. It's like, and it's not like he had a product or anything. Like he had a book out, or or doing anything. He wasn't like a celebrity. He was just a guy who was just polite. Took the time to address if you had problems. Skip was there. He'd reach out to you, and and obviously some people are like, oh, it's just so cliche. You guys say this after he passed away. No, no, this guy was like legitimately a nice person. We don't say it enough. I mean, LK, sometimes you come off as a jerk, but I still like you though because you're a great guy. So it's like,
well, I am the black pill of the group. So.
And we can see that none of it rubbed off on you.
And Breed's a curmudgeon, but we love him still though. He's deep down, he's a teddy bear. Eva Black Cat, we just don't like you. You just say mean things all the time, Eric. But man, yes. But SkipNTosh or Curtis Fisher was our friend. And it's one of those things that we're gonna have to live to deal with. I lost my dad like 7-8 years ago. There's still stuff I can't not do because it reminds me of him. And even though I've never met Skip in person, I'm gonna have the same experiences.
Let me jump in here to your brother from Mars. One of the main things that I try to do around here is to really not just create, but try to cultivate a community. Skip was part of that. More so, and this is why I'm letting them take the lead to RDV, to Eric, to LK. So we lost him last night to cancer. And that's why we're taking, instead of jumping right into the auction, which cynically I will have to stop. I will have to move to in a little bit. But I just wanted to make sure that the respect is shown before we go on. I didn't think it would be right if we just went on without taking some time to say something. and I thought it would be disrespectful if we talked about it while I was trying to sell comics. So
Ironically, though, Skip would be—he's one of those guys who'd be like, you guys just go on with. You don't need to do this. Go on ahead.
Okay, well there you go. Then let's sell some comics.
No, seriously, we'd be like, we're waiting for the reviews.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not worried. He's like, guys, go ahead. Just go,
I get it
jump
because
in.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I've had like bleeding wounds where the doctors were trying to help me out, and I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Relax. It's okay. Not so much when I had my heart attack scare, but the bleeding wounds, okay, don't worry about it. But yeah.
Because the Rain Club's I'm like, man, I want to talk about a book. I'm like, Skip, you're the whole reason why we want to talk about this book.
Well,
and then he's like, don't worry, I'll be there. I got a few things I got to do first. It's like, I was like, all right, I'll wait until you get there because I want you to hear. I want to share it with you.
Well, I'm also going to clip this section. If you want to put it on your channel, if you want to do your own thing, it's up to you. You can literally drag this off of here and put it on your channel. I do have that set up for you to do. Otherwise, if y'all don't mind,
let's have an auction. And
okay, I want to make sure because once again, I don't want to be disrespectful. I mean, I like the guy. I really do. I really did. But for some reason, even on my own gosh darn channel, if you had him on RDV, I would jump on him and go, well, I got to bounce. Like,
literally, you'd be on the camera and you'd be like, I got to bounce now.
That's just that England team magic, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he don't want to take up your time, so he'd let you have the whole entire time to yourself.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I think it would have been a little poetic if he left a message, got to bounce.
And Skip would want you guys to buy all these books.
No, damn. I'm trying to avoid making this into something tacky, and you just did. Congratulations, sir.
Well, no, let me explain. Skip's whole thing was basically his community was not only just hanging out with friends, but sharing his love of comics. And honestly, we do that every Saturday night here in the auction. I mean, obviously you have to pay for the book if you want to read it, but like still, we're giving you the opportunity to read books. And
one of the let me start up and I want to say something about the auction. It has something to do with what you're talking about now, but let's get this thing going. Yeah. Is everything okay? You guys can see everything?
Yeah, it looks good. Although, I mean, the one in the bottom right, it's just a little dark.